Alright, so what we have here today is the Build and Battle Chaos Rising Ampharos pre-constructed deck. And this is actually round number 2. Round number 1 I played against the Delphox deck and beat it pretty handily. They even let me go first, and I did the Ampharos things and won. So what we have here is the generic Ampharos deck with slight modifications. In my deck, in my packs, not in my deck. In my packs, I pulled 3 Speedform Deoxys, which you'll see that I replaced all the Emolgas with 2 of the 3 Speedform Deoxys. And there's one right there, Flaffy. And then you see that I got another Ampharos, which is great. So now I'm running a 4-3-4 line of Ampharos because 1 rare candy is provided in your standard deck. Other than that, I just cut the 3 Emolgas out, added 2 Speedform Deoxys, and added a Psychic Energy just in case I want to attack with my Deoxys. Because all of Ampharos and Flaffy's attacks are all lightning colorless, so you can actually play a random one of Psychic Energy just in case you're in a pinch with Deoxys and you need to draw some extra cards. So it doesn't matter if it's a lightning or a psychic for that last energy slot because you're gonna need a colorless fill anyway. So this is what I'm using. You're probably wondering why Deoxys and not Emolga. Deoxys, it has free retreat. And what you can do with Deoxys is, with Surfer and Switch, you can switch into Deoxys after you attack with Ampharos, and then you can switch into Deoxys after attacking with Ampharos, and then re-pivot back into Ampharos and resetting your attack. And you'll see that a couple times throughout this video. When you're drafting the Ampharos deck, for the most part, you don't need to modify it a whole bunch. What you're really looking for is you really would like either Speedform Deoxys, or even better is the Zubats with the 40 HP and for retreat. Because they are Buddy Buddy Poffin searchable, and unlike the Deoxys, you can't find those with the Buddy Buddy Poffin. But you can see in this first game against the Quillfish Crobat deck, this guy, he's got a pretty generic, I think it's just the straight up the 40. There's nothing too crazy that he had added. There were no surprises, no surprise dark Pokemon, no Crocodile, no Dragalge, nothing crazy like that. And you'll see that this matchup for Ampharos is quite good. You can see that I'm sitting behind a sheep. We unfortunately did not open ideally you want to open a Speedform Deoxys so that you can pivot into your Ampharos as soon as you get it. But what I'm doing here is I'm just sacking the Mareep because you never want to attack into a Quillfish. If you attack in the Quillfish before you get to the Ampharos, they just you get poisoned and then you get return killed because you're taking 80 if you're poisoned. So you'll take a 1 tick for poison, and you'll take a 30 plus 50 because you're poisoned. That'd be 90 damage. That just kills both Mareep and Flaffy. So at that point, if you open a Mareep, you're just better off sitting behind, and you're just better off charging an Ampharos on the bench, as you can see I've done here. So for this matchup, all you need to do is you need to charge up 2 Ampharos, and ideally you want to have at least one of those pivot retreaters, because then the energies at the end of the game don't get a little squirrely. Sometimes if you just have 2 Ampharos, you might not have enough energies, you might not have enough turns to drop. But this matchup is pretty much free. So I've built up 2 Ampharos with 2 Deoxys. You can see now that they've taken 1 Mareep, it's taken them 3 whole turns to take a Mareep. So I bought myself lots of time. Now I have all the Ampharos. And what I'm looking through the deck, is that, okay, I prize the switch, but I do have the Surfer. And realistically, all we need is 1 switching option. Because after this Ampharos gets damaged, even with the helmet and the poison damage, it won't die to Crobat. So we're never scared of the Crobat as soon as we get to the Ampharos, because then we can just manually retreat, attach, and then attack with the fresh Ampharos. And then on the following turn, I'll live with 20 HP, and then basically that Ampharos has taken 2 prizes, and then you want to use your other Ampharos to take another 2 prizes. And with that last Ampharos, we don't want to retreat the energies off because there won't be enough turns. You want to use Surfer or Switch. So as long as you get one of those, you will be okay. Other than that, this matchup is like pretty much free as long as they don't have anything too crazy. Like I said, if they have a Crocodile where they can Grimsley out of Crocodile, or they play like a Mega, or if they get a Chinchino or something like that, something crazy like that, then it gets kind of ugly. So you see here, I'm just like Ultra Balling and I'm thinning stuff down because I'm going to judge. Unfortunately, I did not have a Lily here. I'm just kind of tossing things. I have plenty of energy. I think actually I'm going to toss the Ampharos because I have the Art Ampharos in the deck, so I'm just going to take it or leave it. Doesn't matter. It's going to get shuffled up anyways. So ideally, what we're just looking for is we're looking for that Surfer, or we're praying that we draw the switch off the prizes. And we didn't get it there, so again, I'm just burning cards. The deck has 7 cards, one of them being Surfer. So we're just kind of praying here that we get a Surfer within the next 2 cards or so. Otherwise, we'll have to sack a Deoxys here. And we get lucky enough, we get the switch off the prizes. So that pretty much locks up this game. We can switch into Deoxys, and if he attacks with Crobat, it doesn't matter, no big deal. Then we just switch out. We never want to attack with when the Crobat attacks us, because if you flip Tails on Confusion, then that's just pretty much game over. They'll just kill your Ampharos, and then that's just it. But you see here, just gonna switch out. Luckily, he attacked with a Quillfish, so we're really not under threat of anything here. So I can attack with a fresh Ampharos, or I can actually attack. I am actually almost more obligated to attack with the damage Ampharos because I don't die to poison, but there's no spiky helmet on it. But this is probably a slight misplay because you kind of just want to sack that other Ampharos off. But it honestly doesn't matter. We have 2 Ampharos attacks back to back, so Quillfish dies. Take a prize, get poisoned, no big deal. And then we drew Surfer off the judge, so we definitely really have it. Even if he has something silly, I don't even know. I don't think there's anything Chaos Rising where I have to be worried about. There's none of the pre-constructed decks come with any sort of boss or anything like that. And if he, oh, there you go. That's the game. If there was some sort of like repel effect or an escape rope effect to send me to the bench, I just promote a free retreating Deoxys, and I don't have to waste any energy attachments. So okay, so looking through our deck, yeah, like I said, I'm looking for the view. There's no viewable option, so I'm just kind of scrolling through here. 12 energies. Yeah, I mean it's pretty vanilla. The only card I cut the Canary. I always find that card is so useless because you have so much search anyways. You never want to like discard a card to find a bunch of lightning Pokemon, so I never play it. I always seem to find everything with Dawn and Lily's Judge and everything like that. Very suddenly do I not find my lines. So, but yeah, I did find, like I said, I found an extra Ampharos, so a 4/3/4 line, which is great because that means I'm going to get 4 Ampharos a game. I had 3 Deoxys. The other Deoxys is kind of middling. There's no point of using the other Deoxys. I did pull a Mega Galley, which I cannot use, unfortunately, and I did pull a Beedrill I cannot use. But the biggest thing I'm always searching for in the Ampharos deck is I'm always searching for, like, Zubat with Free Retreat or Deoxys with Free Retreat. Those, I think, are the 2 cards that I'm looking for. Basics with Free Retreat, so that I can Surfer and switch and reset the Ampharos. Other than that, I don't think there's really much of anything that I'm looking for when I get the Ampharos deck. Unfortunately, I think we lose like every coin flip here. Oh, and then my opponent decides that I get to go first. And you'll find out this game is quite short-lived. I mulligan this first hand. And I think he might have misclicked. Because in this pre-release format, you definitely want to go first because it's important to evolve first and it's important to get the energy drop first. Especially in the mirrors and stuff like that. If you're playing an Ampharos mirror, you definitely want to always go first because then you get the first attack. And then you can prod them with your Flaffy and then start setting up a benched Ampharos to respond to their Ampharos. So now we have another game here. Flipping the coin. Tails. I think we lose. Yep, we lost that coin flip, so we're going to be going likely second. I think most people now know that they always want to go first, so... So we opened triple Mareep. It's unfortunate that we didn't open Deoxys. Deoxys is by far your best opener. Again, he's a little bit of a meat shield. He can take random attacks. He can take random Thunderwaves. He can take random disconnects. He can take random flamethrowers from the Breaksin. He can take random Venom Shocks from the Quillfish. And he can take random attacks from the Meowstic and the Esper and even a Sliggoo. So, but yeah, this hand wasn't great other than the 3 Maripes. We want the energy and we whiffed an energy, so now we're like really, really far behind, which is a little unfortunate. We did get rare candy, however, if our opponent disconnects, we're kind of up the creek a little bit, but he benches a Emolga, attaches and Thunder Wave, so he actually didn't even have a supporter. He had no Flaffy and no supporter, so we got away with it. Paralysis doesn't matter, because I'm not attacking this turn regardless. So Paralysis, again, doesn't matter. The 20 damage also doesn't matter, because I think I've, at this point, given up. So what we could have done is we could have rare candy the Mary to Ampharos, but that would be great if I top decked an energy, but I don't want to gamble. This hand is just not good, that I'm just going to start charging up an Ampharos, and we're just saying that this Mary is just going to die. If we draw a Surfer or Switch, we'll just use the Ampharos and kill this Mary, but I've pretty much chalked this up to this Mary is dead, especially since our opponent doesn't have anything going on. So they preemptively attach the Emolga, which is great because Emolga almost does nothing in this matchup. We don't even really care because for the most part, the Ampharos are just going to be trying to synchronize their hands together so that they can make the one-hit knockout. The 30 damage Emolga pickup is kind of just a waste of an energy attachment, to be honest. So that's why I primarily cut all the Emolgas. If you do not pull any Deoxys or any Zubats, any Ferutrators, then Emolga's fine to put in there because then it kind of gives you something to like kind of chain and prod. You can kind of use an Emolga to attack with Emolga if they don't want to evolve their Ampharos or they don't want to go in. So then you just kind of chain Emolgas over and over until you get your board set up. But then, unfortunately, my opponent, he did draw. He drew out of the Judge a little bit there. But we did get bailed out a little bit. He disconnected, so we're not getting any switch outs. But we do have an Ampharos. We have 2 Flaffies and Deoxys. So we're sitting really, really good. We're pretty far ahead of our opponent, especially since they decided not to attach to any Maripes. They preemptively attached to the Emolga beforehand. And now they have no cards in their hand, which is great. Because as long as he attacks, we can use our Ampharos and kill their Flaffy. And so they do, and they take an extra card. So really, they're working with 2 cards this next turn, which is great. So if he has... Oh, man, he's going to need... I don't even think he can even kill an Ampharos this turn, or this next turn. He would have to have, like, Lily and no, not even a Lily would even kill, because now I try to minimize the cards in my hand. I don't play the Ultra Ball, I don't play the Pokepad. I just make sure that I keep making energy attachments, because now I have a 6-card hand. And now if he draws Lily or Ampharos, it won't even matter. He would literally need to top deck his card off his after the surprise would have to be a Judge or an Ampharos, and then he would have to top deck. Well, he'd have to. Yeah, there was like almost no way that he was going to get a KO on my Ampharos here. And then we got extremely lucky that the card pulled off the prizes was the Dawn, because that means no additional energy attachments here. So now his hand is like super dead. His hand is super stagnant, but Emolga can go fetch him a couple energies. That's not a big deal. Again, we know his hand is pretty much dead other than 2 Lightnings and another Ampharos. And as long as we keep our hand filled, this Ampharos, as long as they don't draw a Judge at any point, we won't. My Ampharos won't die. So what I could have done is I could have retreated, attached, and KO'd the Emolga. But again, if he gets a Judge off the top deck, he can just Judge and then, or attach, then Judge, and then we're out. We have no Ampharos with any Lightnings anywhere. So we just pass because I think we're pretty safe. Even if he draws a Judge, whatever, we lose an Ampharos, but then we can return KO with our own Ampharos. Because that would require him to play no cards, and then we just draw a card, and then we just attack. So we'd match 5-5. So I was pretty comfortable passing here. And so since he's going to Aaron Run again, doesn't really matter. 2 more Lightnings. We're just going to keep our hand nice and big, and just make sure we keep attaching energies. Like we just want to attach to Flaffy and then just attack. And this will basically get us through the rest of the game. So if he is able to chain KO Ampharos here, it won't matter, because then we have basically 2 more Ampharos in the back. So I wasn't worried here the whole time. once he especially when he minor Aaron runned the second time. So we were sitting pretty good. So his hands just Pokemon galore and energies from 2 minor Aaron runs, and then he concedes because I think he didn't even have a judge, he didn't have any supporters, so we easily got through that one. By being patient and sacking a Mareep. Sometimes, as the Ampharos deck, you got to sack the Mareep, and then just kind of build up threats from behind. Especially when you go second. When you go first, it's kind of sketchy because if they kill if you're building up an active Mareep and they kill that, then you're so far behind the energy attachments and the evolutions, you're just gonna lose. So sometimes you just gotta evolve the back guys, but. That game would have gone a lot quicker had I maybe drawn a judge or a surfer a little earlier, where you can take your threat forward. But all right, so this is the last game. So in round 1, we had the Fennekin win that I did not show. Round 2, we had the Crobat. Round 3, we had the Concession, and then round 4 was the Ampharos. So we're playing our final round against K Park Z. And our opponent, again, goes first. Get another mulligan. Kind of a similar mulligan to one of our previous games, Flaffy, Ampharos, and Supporters and Energies. So, waiting for opponent to start up the game here. And then, unfortunately, we want to open Deoxys, but we get stuck with a Mary. Not super surprising. We only play 2 Deoxys and play four sheep, so you're definitely almost twice as likely to open a lone sheep, or open a lone sheep. Not that surprising. If I didn't want to open the sheep, I could go up the 3rd Deoxys and maybe cut a lightning energy or cut something else that's a little less valuable, but. Again, I'm okay opening sheep and sacking one off. As long as you play well, you should be all right. Again, we're playing against Crobat deck. Again, this is just so free. The only way the Crobat deck really beats you is they have to get a Grimsley turn 2 Crobat and start killing Mareeps. And they need to take out 2 Mareeps before you can get stuff going. Otherwise, if they sit there behind a Quillfish and just Venoshock you 3 times, that should be enough. As long as you don't dead draw, that'll give you plenty of time to build up at least one Ampharos and get the second one started going a good bit. So, again, they're just attaching Venoshock, or attaching to Quillfish, setting up for another Venoshock, thinking that I'm going to attack into their Quillfish at any point, which you'll never, ever attack with a Mary per Flaffy. Buddy Poffin. Prized a Speed Deoxys, no big deal. You only need 1. The switch and everything is in there. See a switch and Surfer, no big deal. I think most everything, nothing else is like super crucial prize. So I think we're just gonna stick to the game plan. I'm just gonna play it real slow and safe. There's no need to judge. I'm just gonna hold. If I don't get another energy, I'll Flaffy evolve and then I'd go look for another energy. Because every turn you do want to attach an energy so that you keep that momentum, just in case you don't find Switch or Surfer. So, no need to disrupt them. Again, the Crobat is super consistent because as soon as they get to Crobat, they can basically top deck any card that they want. So I'm never. Judge is incredibly weak in this format. The Judge really should just be conserved for matching hand sizes, but the Crobat is weak. You KO everything anyway, so there's no need to interrupt your own hand because this hand is perfectly fine. So they evolved a Golbat, no big deal. We're hoping for no Grimsley turn 2 attached Crobat and then having Crobat come in and just like kill a Mareep. Yeah. So if he Venoshocks, then we're sitting really, really good. He draws 3, so we're not worried about a Crobat. The Crobat precon does not come with any rare candies. The only way that they're going to really get the Crobat out aggressively is going to be through Grimsley. So we're okay with the draw 3. Doesn't matter. Spiky helmets are almost super irrelevant in this matchup. Again, if you'd find a switch at any point, the helms they're basically worthless. Again, I am going to sit on this hand. No need to judge, because then if I don't find an Ampharos the following turn, then it's going to get ugly. Because what he can do is he can evolve Golbat to Crobat and kill this Manaphy, and then I want the Ampharos just in case he does that play, so that we can kill his Crobat. If he comes with Crobat and we whiff an Ampharos, we'll be really, really far behind. So again, no need to make my hand any worse than it needs to be. In this deck, we're scared of nothing. The only thing that would be kind of scary is, again, like I said in the second round, if he had a Grimsley for like a Crocodile EX or something outside of the Crobat precon. So, and then our patience pays off. We actually get a Lily, and that just finds us everything else. Fortunately, no Flaffy, but that's not a big deal. It still gives us another turn to get a Flaffy, but we do have that switch card. Again, we want to save our switches. We want to save our switches, and we want to save this. We want to save our switch. We want to save our Surfer, so that we can pivot and reset Ampharos' attack. We don't want to switch and get. There's no point of like trying to prize race. We'll always beat them in the prize race because they can never one shot us. So. And as long as we kind of move around between Ampharos, it doesn't matter. So I'm holding the switch. I'm going to hold the Lilies. Or I'm going to hold the switch. And next turn I'm going to Lily. So this is at the point now that he killed the Mary. No big deal. Again, we don't have to worry about one-shots. Ampharos is going to come in and do its thing. Attach to Flaffy. Now what we really, really need is we need the Mareep. And what we get is something better. We get the rare candy Ampharos, so now we have 2 Ampharos online. And we can evolve that other one to Mary, or we can evolve the other Mareep, but no big deal. Again, you can win this matchup with just 2 Ampharos and a Deoxys pivot. So we don't need to set up 3 Ampharos in this matchup. 2 will just get us there. It'll be totally fine. All we need to do is redraw the Switch or the Surfer, and we'll be okay. So, and then we get the other Deoxys off the prizes. You only need 1 Deoxys, because if we have to manually retreat our Ampharos, we can always use Deoxys as a meat shield for our Ampharos if needed. But second Deoxys doesn't matter, just for consistency, honestly. So we took 4 from the Spiky Helmet, we took 1 for the Poison. Again, even Quillfish can't KO here. We'll be left with 20 remaining. And this Ampharos will never attack. I never want to. You don't really want to use this Ampharos to attack into the double Spiky Helmet. So if one Ampharos attacks into a Spiky Helmet, you should try your best to avoid attacking again into a second Spiky Helmet, because that's usually enough damage to knock you out after they do 80, 40, 40. Yeah, that's 160. And then poison damage on top of that for icing on the cake. So you want to use this fresh Ampharos to attack into this Quillfish to conserve it. Best Deoxys to get it out of harm's way. I'm not even gonna dig for the switch, honestly. If I get a switch, it doesn't matter. I just really want the energy attachment. So, okay. Pokepad, thinning the deck. Again, the third Ampharos is ultimately irrelevant. Get the second, get the Quillfish, kill it. More of the same. We're gonna also, this Ampharos is gonna be at 140 HP. And the Crobat precons only come with 2, I believe it's 2 Spiky Helmets. And they can't pull any additional ones because all the Spiky Helmets are from Phantasmal Flames. So they'll only ever have 2 maximum, which is great. So, again, Crobat, we're not worried about it. It's going to confuse us, so it's going to poison and confuse us. And we don't have to worry about the Spiky Helmets. I even think at one point I checked the discard pile to make sure that both Spiky Helmets are gone. Yep. 2 Spiky Helmets. Both of them are gone. Yep. Phantasmal Flames. So if he confuses us, we'll just manually retreat and use the we'll use that Ampharos. And then from there, we can use the Axis as a meat shield, but we do luck out a little bit. We do draw the switch finally. And what I can do is I can just, in case of a worst case scenario, we reset, Dawn to thin the deck, switch, back into that damage Ampharos, kill, and we're just powering up. The third Ampharos again is irrelevant because I can just attach to the other Ampharos. But just in case something weird happens, like a Minccino EX or Cinccino EX or any other big attacker outside of the normal Crobat Precon, we have that fresh Ampharos, that third beautiful art rare Ampharos in the wings. But that switch there basically bailed us out. Other again, we would have had to use the Deoxys as a meat shield, which would have been fine because they would have KO'd this Ampharos. They would have KO'd our Deoxys as we attached one for turn. And then, yeah, we'd have been totally fine. So they're just going through the motions. We're going to let them kill. They'll go down to 2 prizes. And this is where, like, a turn 2 Grimsley Crobat would have definitely put on the pressure. They spent 3 turns attacking to a single Mareep for a prize. Instead of killing 2 Mareeps, they could have just outright won. But we Flash Bolt for 280. Easy dub. Easy. Doesn't get any further than the Crobat deck. And that's it. You get 3,600 Battle Pass points, a couple extra packs. There's been some times where I've gotten almost like 10,000 Battle Pass points. I'm not sure if it's bonuses or streaks or what, but I've been climbing the Battle Pass ladder with just winning. Going 3 for 5, 4 for 5, 5 for 5. The Build and Battle kits, man, it's easy to grind the ladder really quickly. And now, there's your token. If you get 3 wins, you get a free token. Get all your cards, collect. I've played quite a few of these already. You'll see that I've hit all the limits on everything. So a lot of this is just getting liquidated into 10 tokens apiece, basically. And you'll see that Drayalgi. So we got some additional pulls. We got a Pyroar, Mega Pyroar, EX. Got a Beedrill EX, you saw that, but we didn't even have any Kakunas to use it. We had Gallade. No Ralts or Corellias to use it, so basically worthless. There's our beautiful art rare Ampharos, which we did use, and we pulled a beautiful art rare Tauros. Everything else, generic. Anyways, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next Purvis video.